Ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss Kia Waters, and I am live on ATL Live with Miss Marie Dunn.
Hello, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, Marie. How are you today?
I am feeling truly blessed.
I know that's right. Oh, I
So
felt that in
blessed.
my spirit when you said that,
Yes.
Marie.
Yes.
I love it. How are you feeling blessed this morning?
So for the past 12 days, I have been sick.
Oh, no.
And I was tempted to reach out to you yesterday because I was like, I probably will need to reschedule. And I prayed about it. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I feel like this morning.
Right.
And I got up, I did my morning routine, I prayed, read my Bible, and was just feeling the spirit. And I'm like, you know what? I think I can do this. And
Yeah.
I went for a 3 mile walk, and I was like,
Oh, you
wow.
better walk.
Yes. And I was like, you know what? God is so good to me. And
Yeah.
that's when I texted you and I said, I
Mhm.
look forward to us
Aw.
having this conversation today.
Well, I'm so glad you're feeling better, Marie. I
Yes.
mean, you certainly don't look like what you've been through. You
Ah,
look gorgeous.
thank you.
And based on that walk, your endurance is coming right on back. It snapped right on back.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So,
is.
Marie, tell the Elite ATL Live audience all about you.
Ah, wow, that's a loaded question. So I think I would like to start with I'm a child of God.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I'm a child of God. And then I've developed all these roles, right? I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a social worker, an author, a publisher. And for the most part, I'm just a resilient woman. And I think we could leave it
Yes.
at that.
Oh,
Folks will
I
find out
love
more
it.
about me as we talk.
Absolutely. Oh, I love the
Yes.
introduction. The
Yeah.
introduction is giving powerful, strong. It was resilient for me. When you said resilient, I knew it was a story to it. I knew that you had survived some things.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
So what are you doing professionally these days, Marie?
So professionally these days, so like I said before, I am actually a social worker. I
Mm.
have been working in the child welfare field for like over, I want to say maybe 16 years. And
Yes.
last year, I had like a pause. I'd like to say it's a pause because oftentimes when things happen in our life, we're like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? Right. So I got laid off after working with this organization for 14 years. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Wow. Look,
It was the
everything
best
happens
thing.
for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything
Wow.
happens for a reason.
So what
And
did you
so
discover during your time off?
So I've always flirted with writing and I've always just been writing because that's my safe space, that's my therapy. And in 2023, what folks will find out about me, I am a runner. In 2023, I decided to run the New York City Marathon. And I think for me, I was just like really thinking about the finish line and getting that medal, right? I wasn't
Right.
thinking about the training and the in-between stages. And so during that process, I've discovered so much about who I am as a woman and as a child of God.
Mm.
And it was October 2023. I was in the shower after a long run, and a voice came to me, and they're like, you have to write a book about this. I got the title and everything. And I've been trying to be obedient to what the universe is telling me and also to what my body is telling me. And
Mm.
so I immediately wrote down the title. The title came to me, How I Got Started and How I Continued. That was the title of the book.
Okay.
And I paused it because I was so busy with work. I didn't have time to pay attention to it. So I say, when I got laid off, it really gave me that opportunity to just be still and completed my book.
Congratulations on your
Thank
book.
you. Thank you.
Wow. How
Thank
it
you.
started and you said how it's finished or how it's
How
going
how it started, now I kept going.
and how I kept going. Oh, it's
Yes.
some power in the title right there. And it
Exactly,
shows
exactly.
growth. Yes, yes.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
just without giving us too much, give me a little bit about what to expect in the book because it came from a very spiritual place for you. So give me an idea and our audience an idea of what to expect. when they read it?
Absolutely. So I changed the title. I changed the title after being home and having the opportunity to just be myself and to read more because I'm an avid reader. And my brother has always told me to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And
Right.
so I read that book, and he basically expressed that whenever you're writing a book, the title is so important because you
Mm-hmm.
almost want to have a hook. Because,
Mm-hmm.
as human beings, our attention span is so limited. And so, in order for us to do that, it's best to have a simplified name. And I decided to go with Don't Wait, because God has showed up so many times in my life. And I think we take life for granted. We take the ability to just breathe. We take it for
Mm-hmm.
granted. So I decided to don't wait. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was like really perfect because, in my life, I've had so many moments of reality check-ins. That's what I call it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
in 1996, I had a near-death experience. That is also in the book as well, because I wanted folks to understand we are not our past, we're not our challenges, and we should grow through our challenges, right? And
Absolutely.
so I set the stage to, I started off with that because I wanted folks to like understand anything that you're going through, you could grow through it. And if
Mm.
when it's your time, it's just your time.
Mm.
And also just like really talking about creating a routine, following your own pace,
Mm-hmm.
self-reflection. That's like a big thing in this book because throughout this journey, I often had to stop and figure out like, why am I doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're being obedient and when you are a healed woman,
Mm.
it begins to get lonely. And oftentimes what I realize, your gift, it's your gift.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to agree with me, Miss Waters, for anything at all. You don't have to show up for me at all because it's
Mm-hmm.
my gift and only me
Mm-hmm.
will understand. And so I had to
Mm-hmm.
lean into that. I had to embrace it and say, okay, fine, baby girl, this is your journey. You don't have to depend on anyone. You could figure it out. And I think, I don't know what others may be going through, what your marathon may look like, but we all go through a marathon because life in itself is a marathon, right? But
Absolutely.
it's
And it
layered
will
how
teach.
exactly, but it's also layered with how we're able to overcome the obstacles, the
Mm-hmm.
setbacks, the challenges that comes in our way. So I think it's a beautiful book. It's a book about resilience and really giving you points to show you that yes, you can. You just have to believe in yourself.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you wrote a book from
Yes.
your testimony, from your experiences,
Yes.
from your journey. Because so many of us look at the hardships that we face in
Yes.
life and that we think that, we are abandoned, we are alone, we don't know how we're going to deal with it. And this is just life, going with the punches. But there is another side of it, and this the other side of the challenge where you overcome. And I believe we all have the opportunity to overcome any of our trials and tribulations, but you have to, one, believe it's possible.
Yes.
And it's books like yours that help people to indoctrinate that mindset that it is possible to overcome hardships. I feel like it fills people with confidence,
Yes.
confidence they probably didn't even know that they had prior to, when everything was okay, prior to their hardship. You know what I mean? You come out the other side like a whole new person, stronger,
Oh, that
smarter,
part.
edgier, more wholesome, more aligned, more balanced. And I love that you have these tips on, having a routine and
Oh,
organization. Those things
yes.
are necessary to define, who you are, what you like, the type of person you are, what you will put up with and what you won't. All those things. I love that. Don't wait. Oh my
Yes.
God, I love that. Where can people find your book?
So it can be found in all platforms. It's on Amazon, it's on Barnes and Nobles, Ingram Spark. It's also on my website, www.beboldtoya.com. Um,
Yes.
and also send me a DM on Instagram, right? Because I think in life, and just to your point, oftentimes we make excuses, right? Let's talk about
Mhm.
that, right? We make
Right.
excuses as to why we can't get something done, right? But
Right.
I know we all have two things in common, and that's 24 hours, right? And choice.
Mm-hmm.
I want you
Yeah.
to sit with that choice in 24 hours. And we get to decide. We get to decide what it is that we're going to do with that time that we have, right? And so, like, we show up and we go to work, right? We're employed.
Right.
We're gaining for those who are employed. We get up and we make sure we get to work at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So why is it that we can't make a promise to ourselves to say, okay, fine, you know what? I need to I need
Yeah.
to stay in shape. It's for health
Yeah.
reasons, right? I need to stay in shape
Mm-hmm.
for health benefits, right? How
Yeah.
about you start your day a little bit earlier? Or how about you
Mm-hmm.
carve out an hour at the end of your workday to either, you know what, take a walk around the block, right? Or to do 10
Yeah.
minutes of workout. Like you think, we make all these excuses. We got to have a gym, right? And we need
Right.
a partner. And
Oh
we,
yeah.
no, no, it's your
Mm-hmm.
choice. You get to
Mm-hmm.
decide.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. The world where you're successful and you're aligned and balanced, there are no excuses.
No.
There's nothing but raw, unfiltered accountability, baby. Like either you
Absolutely.
want to do it or you're not. If you're not, then it's because you didn't want to. No matter how much you
Absolutely.
say you wanted to do it, if you didn't do it, you did not want to do it, and you have to take that responsibility and make a different choice next time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I also feel that, like everything that we're looking for, because we like to look externally and say, well, you know what? My friend didn't show up at the finish line for me, right? Or it's too cold. So like there's like a running joke with myself, right? And also sometimes my family, because I'm from the islands, I'm from Jamaica.
Yes,
And
I love your accent.
thank you. So used to the sun. And one of the biggest challenges I had being here in New York was the weather because training started for me in February. And so I had to go outside and run in that cold.
Oh, child.
And that was like, oh my God, I thought I would have lost my mind. But I didn't have the right gears when I decided to do this because I've always been an athletic person, but I've never ran more than 5 miles, right? And I decided I'm just going to run a marathon, right? And then once I got I had this training app that I used, Run Keepers. And so I had to get my ass out there, excuse me if I can use that here, and I had to run. It's a part of the training. And
Right.
I started my day at 3 o'clock in the mornings because again, it's about discipline and knowing I really wanted to do this. So, in order for me I created a routine. So, I had to start at 3 o'clock in the mornings. And I
Right.
remember when it's dark, I had my friend who would show up at my house at 5 a.m., drive with me until it was broad daylight. So this is where I'm showing people you don't have to make excuse. We can do it, but you have to decide how badly do you want it. What's your
That's it.
why that's going to anchor you? I always tell folks like what is your why? Why are you
Mm-hmm.
getting up every day? And why are you, showing up in your workspace? What's keeping you grounded apart from of course you need money, but I feel that whatever that we're doing in life, well I'll use I statements. I have to find joy.
Mm.
If it's
That's
not
a
giving
big
me
one.
joy,
Everyone's
if
looking for
it's not
happiness.
if it's not giving me joy, I can't do it.
That's it. I
It's a
like that you
decision I've
use the
made.
word discipline. I like that
Oh,
you use the word discipline, or that you highlighted that, because a lot of people see discipline as a bad thing, as a, what is it, a when you get in trouble, a punishment of sorts.
hmm,
But people don't know that, they say iron sharpens iron.
yes,
You need discipline in order to be
yes,
sharp, in order to
absolutely,
be successful, in order to succeed, and not just in the world, but in your journey in life and all the things that you want to do in your life. In order to get to those destinations, you need to be disciplined. And that is not a bad word. That is not a punishment. That is not used for hardship or harm. What it's used for is for you to get tight at who you are and who you want to be. You got to be focused. You got to be on that mission. And discipline is step one.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you know what? Let's talk about discipline, right? So oftentimes we talk about motivation, right?
Right.
That's great. But what happens when you're not motivated, when it's cold in the morning, you don't want to get out of bed,
Mhm.
right? And to get dressed and to go outside. What are you going to do? You're going to stay in the bed and say, okay, you know what? I didn't feel like it this morning, right? So,
Mhm.
in order for us, like you said, in order for us to achieve anything that we want in life, it boils back down to self discipline. Like, what is it that's going to push you to get up and say, I'm going to start my day? For me, I'm excited about every single day. And I
Mm.
know exactly what my day is going to look like the night before. And this is a part of self discipline, right? So every night before I go to my bed, my training clothes is out.
I
Everything
know
is
that's right.
selected. Everything is selected. My running shoes is at the door waiting for me. And all I have
Wait.
to do is roll out of bed, do my routine, get dressed, and I'm out the door, right? Oftentimes we sit around and we're like, you know what? Oh God, it's Monday. I'm grateful for every day. Because you know
Hmm.
what? The gift of life.
Oof. Talk
We
about
don't
it
know, right? It's not a guarantee.
at all.
It's not a guarantee. So we have to decide what it is that you want for who you are. And
Hmm.
people may not understand your journey, and I'm not asking anybody to understand, right? That's okay. And because I'm not looking for validation and I'm not looking for permission from anybody. It's about who I am as an individual. And for me, if it's not working for you, then it's okay. Bye bye. I'm okay with that because that's another
Absolutely.
great thing about being in silence and being in your space by yourself. A lot of us,
Mhm.
we're afraid of that because we're afraid of who we are.
Ooh, child, talk about it now. Wait a minute. Where's my Bible? Because now you preaching. You preaching at this point, Marie. You talking some serious gems here. A lot of people do not want to spend time with themselves to reflect and to think about who they are and where they are in their life because they are afraid to take the accountability of who and what they have done to people for themselves or have not done for themselves. Let's talk about it now. Because if the hard truth is all bad and you don't got nobody else to blame because it's just you in that mirror, some people are not ready for that kind of accountability. But let me tell you something. When you ready to get strong, when you ready to be successful, when you ready to level up, when you ready to reach the goals that you say you want to reach in real life, you gotta have those hard conversations with the mirror, honey. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
And no matter how bad it come out, it's gonna come out good once you switch it up. All you gotta do is fix the problems, but you gotta identify the problems first, right, Marie?
Absolutely. You got to get to that point in your life where you're like, enough is enough. I need to do something differently in order to have a different outcome. And that's the part that sometimes we get so caught up with because we fail to understand only you can save you.
I'm trying to tell you.
It
At the end
doesn't
of the
matter.
day.
Doesn't matter how many people you have around you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your race. And in the
Mm-hmm.
end, you will have to run it yourself. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah,
start with self. It's about self. It's an act of self love when you
it
could
is.
say, you know what? I don't really like this part about me, but like what it is that am I going to do to make it different, right? Because I had to have those hard conversations. And this is why I said like running the marathon and like the training, because I ran 765 training miles just to run 26.2 miles, right?
Oh my good night.
And it's about that practice and that discipline over time. Practice becomes perfect. Not
Yeah.
perfect, but you get better at it.
Better
You
and
get
better and
better.
better.
You get better. But it's a daily practice. And it's
Mm-hmm.
something that you have to do for yourself, right? And so on our journey, on my journey, I had to show up for myself.
Yeah.
Some days it wasn't the best, But that's okay. Today I was supposed to do a 20-mile training run, but I'm just getting better. So
Yeah,
I
you're
did I
healing.
did I did 3 miles walk and it was okay. Because you have to also give yourself grace. I give myself grace and I celebrated myself because I got up and I showed up. I showed up
Yes, you
for me.
did.
I showed up for me, and that's all that really matters. So I think, like when I reflect on writing Don't Wait, right? I think about it and I'm like, you know what? I wanted folks to understand it is okay. It is okay. You can do this, but you have to want it. And what are
Yes,
you willing to sacrifice?
absolutely.
And
And that's,
it's
yeah.
it's about every aspect of my life. It was like a whole life-changing experience, from my eating habits, right, to my sleeping
Mhm.
habits, to my peace, right, and realizing sleep is necessary no matter what it is. I had to be so disciplined, and I had to isolate myself. I remember
Mm.
even giving my remotes to my friend. I didn't even want my TV remote in my house because I
Oh,
just wanted to
wow.
make sure I wasn't having any distractions, and I gave them to her, had her keep it for a period of time, changed my voicemail to let people know I will not be available until such and such a time, because it's
Oh,
also about
wow.
respecting others, right? And
That's
I would
true.
hate for people to be reaching out to me and you're not getting back, you're not hearing back from me, but also setting boundaries for myself. Let's talk about that. Had to
I
set
love
healthy boundaries for
this.
myself. So it's about, an act of self love, being kind to me, like for a change, thinking about me. And it's
I
okay.
love this radical discipline that you're
Yeah.
given. And I say radical, not that it's outrageous, because it's
Yeah.
necessary.
Yes.
But I say radical in the sense that you don't see people just giving their remotes away and just completely
Yeah.
being so focused and
Yeah.
organized. It needs to be normalized,
Yeah.
honestly, but
Yeah.
it's not. And I love this because it's helped you to be a successful and disciplined and trained, and it's as you are and as you have been. To some of the people that are looking to get on track with being more focused and more disciplined in their life, what advice would you have for them, Marie?
Absolutely. I do a assessment of who you are as an individual. Look at how you spend your 24 hours, right? And then it's an act of decluttering, I call it. Like you get rid of stuff that no longer serves you, right? It's going to be
Yes.
really, really difficult. But whatever your marathon is, you have to take a step back and look to say, what do I need to release? You have to get rid of certain things in order to move forward. You can't be taking the old baggage from last year. You can't take it with
Mhm.
you on the next year, no matter how much you try. We're in fall now, right? As much as I want to walk around in shorts and stuff,
Right.
this
And
it's
seasons
changing.
has changed, honey.
Season has changed, so you have to let it go. Once you make that assessment and you realize what it is that you need to do differently, then okay, that's the first step. Then the second step is how you're going to achieve it. Because remember, some of us, we have a full-time job, we have children, like whatever your situation is, right? Think
Right.
about how are you going to be able to do this, because you need a plan. Without a plan, it's not going to work out, right? And then
Mhm.
you set achievable goals for yourself. So whether it is I want to lose 10 pounds by the end of the year, because it has to be measurable. You should be able to, get on the scale when you start, and you're gonna have to change your eating habits, right? And probably do a little exercise as well. Because, like, I want folks to understand, let go of instant gratification.
Oh, you are preaching today here, Marie. I love everything that you are saying. Like, honestly, in order to be successful, and I'm a
Yeah.
businesswoman myself, and
Yeah.
I had to learn these things for myself. And I love that you have created this book, Don't Wait, where you inspire people to get on track with focus and discipline. It needs to be said more often, it needs to be normalized so people can reach their goals and be more successful. I love this. I love this. Continue. Didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to slap my knee because I am enjoying this conversation, honey.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, and then once you have your plan, and find someone who can hold you accountable and who can, hold your hand, someone who will also be truthful to you. I'm not looking for someone who's going to be like, oh, girl, you got this. You got this. No,
Mm-hmm.
someone who is going to be honest with you and say, hey, it's your fault. You could have done things differently. Hold you accountable. You have your
Mm-hmm.
accountability partner, then okay, you share your plan with your accountability partner, right? You share that plan, and then you're going to start working that plan. Like
That's it.
whatever you have executed, you're going to start with the execution, because you could always sit around and talk about your plans, but you got to act. You got to put in the work.
Yeah. Got
Faith without works is dead,
absolutely. I couldn't
right?
agree more.
Right? And celebrate your small wins. Don't wait
Mm.
until you get to the finish line to celebrate yourself. Every single day when I do something, whether it's a verbal praise or whether I'm getting myself flowers because I may have done something that, surprised me, I'm going to celebrate myself because it's important. And give up social media for some time.
Mm.
And
You
when you give
recommend
up
the
social,
fast?
yeah, whatever, like give it up for however long you can do it, because I think we get so distracted by
Mm.
just scrolling aimlessly on social media, right? And then also seeing the glow up from others. Like I always like to tell
Mm.
people, you don't know, everyone, we have a story.
Right. It's that instant gratification you were talking about. They want to instantly be gratified in whatever arena that person was celebrated, and they want that for themselves
Yeah.
instantly and haven't done all the work and don't know the journey that that person went on to get there.
Exactly. Because how often do we really come in social media and post, I'm having a really bad day, or it took me 10, 15 years to get to this point?
Right.
Like people see me post on social media with my medals, right? But people don't understand the behind scenes, because I'm not really posting and telling people about every step of the journey. But there is a journey and you may not understand it. So social media is great. It's a great platform. This is
Right.
how I connected with you, right? It's a great
Absolutely.
platform if you're using it the right way. But also,
Hmm.
don't get dismayed when it's not working for you, or you don't think that you're achieving fast enough, right? Go at
Right.
your pace. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Focus on what it is that you're doing for you right now.
Absolutely. And stay on track with your plan. Like
Oh,
you
yes.
said, you whatever your goals are, you create a
Yes.
plan for it and you stick with it. You can't go on social media and all of a sudden you want to be on a completely different plan because that person is like what the but you know what? Because there is no order and no structure in a lot of people's lives, it's scattered, it's disorganized
Yes.
in their brain. And unfortunately, social media becomes a distraction because they don't have their initial plan set up that they're following. I completely understand you. I'm clocking you, Marie. You're dropping gems here. Now I want to move past and talk more about your medals, your wins. I want to give you your flowers. Tell me about when, from your first medal to your book. Tell me about your wins.
So when I migrated to this country, I wanted to be an attorney. And I flunked the LSATs miserably. And I was like, you know what? I think my ego is bruised. So I decided to go to grad school. And I had my plan B was to become a social worker. And so in this work, it's hard work. I'm doing this because I get up every single day and it gives me so much pleasure to serve, because that's what we are here for, right? We're here to be of service, right? And so I think that's one of my greatest accomplishments. Like getting a phone call, like yesterday, I had, so I'm also a therapist. I got a text message from one of my clients, and, they were just like so grateful, just like saying, like, just me showing up and just listening and helping them to get to the next step on their journey, and simple things like that mean so much for me. That is such like a huge accomplishment,
I love
because for
that.
me it's not about the medals, it's not about the wins, it's about how I make people feel.
Yes.
How I make people feel.
Your visit, your words, your touch, your support
Yeah.
can be the difference between, them having faith to move forward and them
Yeah.
giving up.
Yes, absolutely. And I volunteer. I take pleasure in volunteering. So one of my proudest moments, I was a facilitator in the Manhattan Detention Center. I did I a life skill class for folks who were incarcerated. And it was such an humbling experience. I stopped during the height of the pandemic. And I'm talking about it and I'm getting chills because being locked up for those few hours teaching this class and seeing the extent of hopelessness
Mm,
and to see the trauma, because
mm,
it's so easy to judge and it's so easy to point fingers, right? But like I said before, like we all have a story. And
right,
sometimes we don't have that support that going to steer us in the right direction. We're also a product of our environment. If I
mhm,
grow up around poverty, domestic violence, drugs, what do you think is going to happen?
right,
Right? And so seeing these men and women in these situation and just just how the environment like just doesn't foster hope and love and redemption and rehabilitation, that really spoke to me. And I was able to go in and share of myself, of my time,
right.
and to help give them hope. That's something
Mhm.
that I find so much pride in, and that makes me smile when I think about it.
Thank you for your service, Marie.
It's a pleasure. It is a pleasure.
You have, and I'm sure about this. I'm not going to put a preemptive, you may have, or you may likely. No, you have changed a lot of lives by being an impartial, objective, caring voice, caring, supportive role in people's lives that, like you said, are growing up in situations that does not foster success,
Yeah, it
and
does.
well-being,
Yeah.
and I feel your spirit just like by you telling me how you connected so deeply with, people who have, just been set up for, and I hate to say it, but failure,
I know.
unfortunately, and but you could be that corner,
Yeah,
that makes them see a light where they never thought that there would ever be. They've never seen it
absolutely.
before, and you're that North Star to a lot of people. I'm very sure of it. I'm certain that your light has shined on people's spirits that needed it. So thank you so much, Marie, for all you do. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good evening, Moon Montana, 1986. I think we're beautiful. We're doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And in life we're gonna be met with challenges and we're gonna have setbacks, right? And back in, I think it was 2021. Yes, 2021. Um, when I decided to publish my first book, which is published under my pseudonym Toya J. After I wrote the book, and I'm like, okay, now we need to publish the book. I recognized there were so many, it was such a challenge, and so many no's. Like people were telling me, no, it's not going to be possible. We can't do this. And it was costing a lot of money, right? And I was like, okay, I created my own publishing company. And that's when I started Bold Flamingo Publishing, and sharing this in this space because there's always a way. I think if we stop looking at the challenges and start looking at solutions and
Mhm.
also looking at what we already have, right? We can create so much if we just start refocusing, because that's what it is. So having my publishing company, not only it gives me so much independence, and I can definitely do whatever it is that I want. There is no boundaries, there are no restrictions. And I think as an entrepreneur, you can relate to this. It's a process, but you need process to have progress. And
Mm,
it goes back to that where you're making sacrifices. It's not about now. I'm thinking about leaving a generational legacy behind, right? Like, how will this impact not only me right now, but generations to come, and also be able to give others the opportunity to share their story, whether it's internationally or nationally, because I know I'm just getting started.
I know
I
that's
am
right.
just getting started. And I live my life and I treat others the way I'd expect others to treat me.
Hmm.
And I know other authors out there, they can't afford it. They probably don't know the process. Like sometimes people come to me and I'm just sharing this information. I'm not going to charge people for information that's out there. You know, if we would only stop to pay attention, it's right there, but sometimes we just don't know. And I'm this person, I'll tell you how. If I have that information, I'm going to share it, because the God above, he just shows me how much I am loved and how supported I am. I never feel alone, no matter how difficult it is. I'm human being, it's normal, right?
Right.
But I always overcome because God is always with me.
Mm, absolutely. And now you're creating a platform for
Yes.
other writers to be able to publish their books on your
Yes.
publishing company. Amazing.
Yeah.
What types of genres of books were you open to reading?
So I'm open to publishing. I just can't do children's book. That's a whole different conversation. Um, that's a whole different conversation. And like I said, like I've learned so much in this process. And
Mm,
so that is okay. I could always create another publishing company if and when I need to publish children's book, but all genres. I'm open.
nice. So you
Yes.
listen here, you leaders, if you are a writer, you need to be tapping in with Marie Dunn, honey. She has her own publishing company and she is open to all genres of amazing books that she is looking to put out there, published just for you for independence, just like you. Thank you, Marie, for that. Thank you for doing that. I'm glad it was able to propel your book to where it is now, and as you're creating a platform for new entrepreneurs, new writers out there to do the same.
Absolutely. And to just know it's okay. It's slow but steady. And that's okay with me.
Absolutely. Yes,
Um,
progress is progress, no matter the
exactly.
speed. No matter the
Exactly.
speed.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Because everyone needs a platform to get started to do anything.
Absolutely. We and you know that's something that I've struggled with ever since being in this country.
Hmm.
I remember getting out of grad school and trying to get employment, and everyone is telling me you don't have experience, you don't have experience. And this is why I'm consistently taking chances on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
investing in myself because I know what it is to want and not have, to need and not have. And I think that has humbled me and has allowed me to be this amazing, incredible, resilient woman that I am today. Because no is not an, it's, I don't take no for an answer. You could tell me no, but that's just telling me, you know what? Maybe it's not that time right now. Or
Or you
maybe
have
I
another
wasn't.
option out there waiting for you.
Absolutely. So
Mm-hmm.
just be true to who you are. I can't underscore that enough. Like in life, just show up as your authentic self. How do you get to your
Absolutely.
authentic self? It takes work. It takes a lot of self work, a lot of self talk, and honesty with who you are. I
Mm-hmm.
love talking about the mirror exercise I love to do. It's like where I literally strip myself naked and I stand before that mirror and I'm looking inside, not just the physical, it's the inside, because I needed to connect with that woman, that child who was broken, that child who never understood, and heal that inner girl within me
Mm-hmm.
in order to move forward. And it's okay.
That's deep, Marie.
Yeah.
That is so deep and it's so thorough. Healing traumas. Ooh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so thorough. Yeah, and that's so necessary. And so many people need to do it or find a process to do it on
Yes.
a daily basis to get over their internal blockages and
Yes.
barriers and perceptions that are poor perceptions. They have to get over the trauma and the hurt that's causing those
Yes.
blockages. So, ooh, you are, and a lot of your teachings are in Don't Wait. Her book, you guys have got to get it. Don't Wait by Marie Dunn, honey. It is so deep and it's thorough. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Food for the Soul.
Okay, I've not read that book.
Well, I think it's called Chicken Soup for the Soul. It
Oh,
was a
yes,
really
yes,
popular series. But
yes.
when I'm thinking about your book, Don't Wait, I just say I feel like it's food for
Yeah,
the soul because it's
it
for your
is.
soul to eat it up and just flourish and like turn from a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I we talk about like the physical and the internal self. Like I also want to like talk about how changing my eating habits, like how nutrition has played a part in who I am today. Because for years I've always been a sick woman, struggled so much and even got injured. I got assaulted back in 2017.
Oh.
That's how I ended up having two surgeries and having to navigate depression, right? And during those moments I realize I'm here for a special reason.
Absolutely.
And so I had to experience all of these setbacks, all of these pain, all of the suffering. Suffering is so necessary because without that, I have nothing to compare it with, right? Like, how am I getting
Mhm.
better as an individual, right? As a human and as a sister, a brother, how do I get better? It was Carl Jung who said that we are not what happened to us, right? But we are what we wish to become. So we
Yes.
can change. We can change. It's really about like that changing. Like I never thought that from the Caribbean, the way I ate, right? The processed food, the fried foods, right? The curry goats and all of those stuff, that was hurting my body even more.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna knock on my table right here. Since 2021, I have not used my Imitrex injection because I suffer from chronic migraine.
Oh.
And since I changed my eating habits, like I am just like just this golden, beautiful woman. And
And
I'm so
medicine,
grateful for that.
medication free.
Yeah, food is food. Yeah, food, what you eat is medicine for your body. And you have the choice to decide. Am I always eating great? No, because I have my days when I have my cheat days. But for the most part, I practice clean eating and I do a lot of juicing. That works for me.
Yes,
That
I'm a
works
big
for me.
juicer myself. What's your
Awesome.
favorite meal to juice?
I like to do apples, kales, spinach, ginger.
Oh,
That's
gotta throw the ginger in there,
yeah,
honey.
you got to throw the ginger in there. Ginger is
Got
in
to.
everything that I make, but that's
Yeah,
one of
it's
my favorite.
anti-inflammatory. It's just so good. It gives
Exactly.
it a little spice. I love
Yes.
it. I love
Yes.
it. It's juice twins. I get you, girl. And it's definitely good for you. And it's because it's already broken down. It goes right to your bloodstream. I love
Exactly, exactly.
it.
So
Hmm.
always challenging myself. Like I have this friend and he was also my health coach and he's been doing raw diet for like 147 days.
Oh my
So
God.
yes, so my goal is to starting tomorrow is to do a 7-day challenge to see how this can work out for me. But I think that's also something that I do in my life. I'm always challenging myself to do
Hmm.
something, to try something new. I
Oh.
skydive, like I'm always doing things that gives me that adrenaline rush, right? And also thinking about healthier ways for me to be able to survive and exist.
And I feel like it's also a way for you to see just how powerful you are.
That part.
Okay, okay. Because when you
That part.
challenge yourself to do more, to be better, to do differently, to think outside the box, to be outside the box, to do something you never did before and excel at it, that's a superpower, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's your, and guess what? You're practicing discipline to do it.
Yes.
See, guys, see how we circle right and back around the discipline in order to become powerful. It's a circle of success, and you need
Exactly.
both. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness, I enjoyed this talk so much, Marie. What would you like
Yes.
to leave our elite audience with today?
Yes, you absolutely can. Give yourself permission. You don't need permission from anybody. Be bold because you can do it. Trust yourself, trust the process, make sacrifices, but know ultimately it's up to you and you can do it. Become your
I
authentic self.
Become your authentic self. Good, bad, and the ugly. And whatever you
Yes,
don't like, change it. Because guess
you
what?
can.
You are powerful enough to do it, okay? Ms. Waters and Marie Dunn said so. We believe in you.
Yes. You got to believe in
Thank-
yourself, though.
and you got to believe in yourself. Tell them, Marie. I don't even got
You
to do
got
it.
to
It's Marie
believe
going to
in
say.
you got to believe in yourself. It's what self-belief, that's where it starts. Because Miss Waters and Miss Dunn can always believe in you. But if you have that self-doubt will definitely throw you off the tracks. And
Absolutely.
and with that,
So
it was
believe in
really
yourself.
a pleasure. Thank you so much for creating this safe space for me to show up. I appreciate you and you be awesome. And to all the viewers, thank you.
Thank you, Marie. You guys, you make sure you follow Marie at I am_Marie Dunn. That's Dunn. And get her book, okay? Don't wait. I'm telling you, it is so nourishing, food for the soul. When I tell you, it's all about your level up and how to do it from a spiritual aspect, from a schedule, a planning aspect, every aspect that you need in order to level up and grow and be your best self, your best authentic self. You want to get Don't Wait by Marie Dunn. And if you are a writer, you make sure you tap in with Marie so that she can get to working on publishing your book, okay? So it's Miss Kia Waters. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, Marie. You are my people.
Thank you. Have a blessed rest of the week on purpose.
I know that's right. You too, guys. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.